Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the C-Man, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the C-Man's Cinema Sit Down. I don't usually move this fast, but we've already spent a half hour talking about Star Wars and Obi-Wan things, and it's very dark and very early on a Wednesday, so there's stuff to talk about. Why don't you pull up a chair, take a seat? We are getting ready to dive in and take a look at part 3 of Obi Wan Kenobi. We're going to watch it, reactions, talk about it after. My good friend Britt is back with us again. Britt, how's it going?
Good. How are you? I'm hyped.
I am good.
Imagine how you are. Yeah.
I am more awake than I was last week, simply because I think that little half hour like warm up that we had talking about stuff we missed in the first 2 episodes got the old brain working. Mm-hmm. So maybe I don't miss as many things this week. But awesome. I don't want to waste any time because last thing we saw was Hayden's face in that back to tank, man. And I am here for some Vader, man. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
So I'm queued up. You are queued up. We'll do our countdown and let's watch this bad boy.
Let's do it.
2, 1, go. And as always, we're letting the recap play out for you guys. It gives us a couple other minutes to note things that we saw. The visual look of this show too, it's just so stunning. I mean, I loved all the different like neon colors and vibes that are just in dial alone. Like
this could be a movie. That's the quality, and that's what you expect, and that's what you want of Disney Plus. I don't know if they always hit that mark, but they're certainly doing that for Obi-Wan so far. Same thing, like the Mando look. It's very, very put together. It's not something you would expect for TV, which is awesome.
Also, Flea, another person who was kind of out of place in the episode.
Yeah.
And man, did he get a terribly horrible way to go with the spinning lightsaber of the Grand Inquisitor. Another reason not to lose that character too, right? Like that's
the thing. I need more of that.
Badass. Oh, all right. Yeah. Here we go.
I tried my hardest not to get taken out by Flea. I don't know how much he was actually acting. I don't think very much. But like it's one of those like, okay, you kind of move on. Yeah. Like Ed Sheeran in Game of Thrones, right? Like you're like, oh, are you really supposed to be there? I'll overlook it though.
It's one of those like from what I heard, he was just on set for something else, and they were like, "Hey, Flea, why don't we plug you into the episode?" Like, yeah. Just the title alone makes me so happy. Like we have an Obi-Wan show.
Master, are you there, Master?
He's alive, Obi-Wan.
Oh, here we go. I also love the way they like the theme. Oh man. Oh, he looks so good.
I get so excited, even if it's flashback dialogue.
Dude, one of the things that I saw Ewan say in an interview, the first time ever on set that he's actually been scared, like in reality, was turning around and seeing Hayden in the Vader getup. He said it was legit like terrifying on the screen, like on set, to be standing in front of him.
I'm like, I have chills. I have.
Oh, he looks so good. Oh my god.
He's been looking for you for a long time.
And that's just like, that's how you know Vader. Smoke behind him, deadpan, breathing.
Oh man, it's like we know what Vader is, but just seeing it is and like it's him. Oh man, I'm so happy.
This is wild.
Where is he?
We have probes out.
That's James Earl Jones, right?
It has to be.
Prove yourself, and the position of Grand Inquisitor is yours.
See, it was a Vader play.
Fail me, and you will not live to regret it.
He wants all the Grand Inquisitors in his pocket. Or Grand Inquisitors. He wants all the Inquisitors.
Oh my
Oh, it
god,
looks so
dude.
good.
But like, I mean, obviously James Earl Jones is still around, so like it would not make sense to not use him, but he doesn't do a lot.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure what they were gonna do with the voice. That was everything.
Can't you make this thing go any faster?
It's a trade route, Leia. I'm not in control of it.
Can't you use the force on it or something?
That's not how it works.
How does it work?
Have you ever been afraid of the dark? How does it feel when you turn on the light?
I feel safe.
Yes, it feels like that.
I fixed Lola. That's awesome.
You'll be seeing Lola at Droid Depot in Disney, I'm sure.
And more of that, like Obi understanding how you
Yeah,
do
it's
kids in a different way.
yeah, like he's learning from his mistakes, but she's clearly inquisitive about the Force, and like maybe she's trying to see if like that's how she feels. I know she feels something. I thought he would lean into it a little more, but he could just be like very distracted. But like,
Oh, sure.
don't want to get him. I don't want him to be so hyper focused on Luke that he doesn't lean into the to that Leia aspect, because he only is. I don't know how long we're going to be with them together, but the master Padawan dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, like
I'd be okay with.
He's gonna learn things that he'll need for Luke by being with Leia.
Yeah,
And again, it's like one of those genius moves. Like Leia sends R2 to Obi-Wan. They've got to have some sort of relationship, and showing it in the show is smart.
and people are like, well, you know, the speech, her infamous speech that she delivers, "You served my father in the Clone Wars." Could that be? You don't really. She doesn't really know him, and she's just like reciting history. I don't think so. I think you
It's an
can
important
buy
piece
it a
of trust
couple of
if you
ways.
didn't have some kind of physical
Yeah.
relationship with him.
Yeah.
Coordinates say the meeting point is further north. That is, if our new friend was telling the truth.
Why would he lie?
People are not all good, Leia. It wasn't always like this here. There were fields and families, and then the Empire came in and ravaged it all.
But the Empire was supposed to be helping us.
Well, there are some, like your dad, who are trying to. Seems like a losing battle these days.
It's a great perspective shift.
Yeah.
Oh man, he is really starting to lose it.
Ben?
Just that stare.
Flashbacks were such the obvious thing for getting Hayden. I didn't think of like Obi-Wan like breaking mentally,
Manifesting,
having
yeah.
hallucinations where he's seeing him. Not so much.
The tonal shifts are great too. All it being super, super dark, and then Obi-Wan and Leia being lighter. It's great visually.
And the score just continues to kick so hard.
Yeah.
And I love, like I was saying before, I love where you see Holt weave in that John Williams theme for Obi-Wan in places subtly.
Yeah.
You are not in charge here.
Ooh.
That seat is mine.
Getting more nervous about what they're doing with this Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah, I am too now. Well, they definitely make you believe the Grand Inquisitor is dead.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch some Rebel stuff.
Yeah. So hopefully they're just keeping us on our toes. This stuff is great.
Now remember, if anyone asks, we're farmers from Tool. You're my daughter and you don't talk.
I can't talk or I don't like to talk.
You don't. This is where he told us to come to.
Maybe they're just late?
Maybe it was a lie. I knew it. I never should have trusted him.
We don't know if maybe...
No one is coming here, Leia.
Well, if we're on our own, we're gonna need some help.
What are you doing?
Maybe they can give us a ride to the spaceport.
But it's not safe.
He seems friendly. Hi, I'm Luma. This is my friend, my father. This is my father, Gordon. We're farmers.
Hey there, I'm Freck.
We were going on a trip and we got a little lost in this field.
That's a weird story.
We got a bit turned around. We're looking for the nearest port. We need to get home.
Well, I'm going that way. Jump in.
I don't know whose voice that is, but that's someone's voice. I can't.
Don't worry, I'll get
Yeah.
to the port in no time.
Leia just always head first, right in.
Transport late again?
As usual.
Well, hop in. Meet my new friends.
Don't want to play the clone troopers? This is what you get.
Yep. I love seeing the Empire's impact on these different places and like perspective is of like just regular people. I mean, even Leia thinking that the Empire was supposed to be good at the start.
I mean, why would she know any different, right? She just knows her dad is a senator. She doesn't know what he actually does.
He brought me here to see the place where he met my mother.
She's not with us anymore.
Do you have any information about a Jedi?
I would know one if I saw one.
Are you sure he's even on this planet?
They know what they're doing, Leia.
You called her Leia.
Obi-Wan's the one that slips up. He is.
He's so rusty.
That was her mother's name. I get confused.
Clever rebound.
When I look at Luma, I see her mother's face. We all miss her very much.
Strongest lies threaded with truth.
Truth.
This is us. Thanks, Breck. Let's move.
Are you my real father?
Oh,
I wish I could say I was, but no, I'm not.
Well, that hurts.
right.
Don't worry. Won't take long. I know these fellas.
Who are they?
A couple of strays I found. Thought you might want to check them out.
Knew this guy was no good. Too friendly. Oh, these damn probes. Yeah, let's go. The reluctance to go to the saber is so interesting.
Ooh.
Oh! Oh no.
What a way to go out.
Right?
Let her go.
Her face in some of these like scary moments.
Yeah.
Also, I love this. Just literally walk around it.
Go around. Yeah, go around.
When they did that wide shot before, I was like, it's very small.
Like,
space.
yeah. Like they're already dead. Just run up the hill.
Oh god.
Get down on the ground.
Female trooper.
Yeah.
Put your head
It's what's her face from Thrones.
Yes, it is.
Oh, she's a good guy.
Ooh, double agent. Okay. Okay.
is,
They'll have sent a transmission. We have to hurry.
is that Kamal's contact?
It has to have been.
Right?
It has to have been. I was like, of course. Like, it would be too easy for her to play an actual villain, right? Like, she just has that look of like what the Empire would be. I love that.
We have a presence there. Full battery. It's a strip operation, Vidtrium. I'll inform Lord Vader.
He's already
Never the people you think you can trust.
He was most.
Ooh. I love this power play stuff going on with these other Inquisitors, though.
Yeah.
Everything will be all right, Leia. We'll make it out.
I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't mean to run away.
Venture finally got to her.
Yeah.
She was so excited last episode to be off planet. Now that little kid, like, all right, things are real.
Yeah. It makes her, shows her learning to appreciate Alderaan, which makes it all even worse knowing how it ends up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all right. He's on our side. Designation's Net B.
Hi, Ned B. This is L0LA59. Lola, say hello.
He's just a loader. They don't allow them to communicate.
But what if he has something to say?
Actions speak louder than words.
What is this place?
We have safe houses like this throughout the galaxy. Some call it the Path.
Quinlan was here.
Yeah, he helps now and again. Smuggling younglings.
Obi-Wan didn't come out of retirement.
Open up now. We need to search the premises. Seen anyone? Hey! I'm talking to you.
I love seeing a loader droid do something so human as to hide like a hammer behind his back?
It's that whole through line, right? Where Leia was saying like they're droids, yes, but they're still some, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Don't
They're
overlook them.
intelligence in some way.
Is it scary? Having to pretend.
Yeah, sometimes. But it's worth it if I can help people. I wear it on the other side. It gives me a faster draw.
Can you teach me how to shoot?
Leia,
I love seeing all these little things that are like
Yeah.
inspirational to how Leia becomes who she ultimately is.
Yeah, like her line a couple minutes ago, and they were like, actions speak louder than words. Like, clearly, this is all stuff that she's taking in and she's just absorbing and soaking up. And like, not only Bale and Brea who are teaching her these things, she's like a little sponge.
Oh yeah, Obi's reluctance to use the safe lightsaber, like I wonder,
Yeah.
like it feels like he hasn't used it since he used it against Anakin.
Right? What is it?
That's what he was feeling them. He knows that Anakin will be able to sense him, right?
Yeah, they're still so connected, clearly.
Yeah, I thought he was having like a PTSD breakdown, and it was Anakin. Oh, he senses him.
Hoping to smoke him out.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think he knows exactly where he is, but he's just trying to force him. Goodness. Jeez.
This is the Vader you expect.
go with Tama. I'll be right behind you. I'll lead him away.
Oh, man.
They can't go out. They can't. Their battle can't happen in the third episode, can it?
I mean, it could.
Oh my god.
He's got to come out. Like, he can't. Vader's just killing innocent person after innocent
Right. This is what the whole first episode was about, right? Like Jedi can't help themselves.
Just his, like, Hayden's movements are so, like, that head turn.
Yeah.
Obi is shook. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, man.
Do it. Do it.
So unsure.
Light it up.
Come on, Obi. He is so old, Ben. I kind of hate it.
Let's just swerve. Let's literally run away.
You cannot run.
Oh! Where is he? Oh, there he is.
What have you become?
I am what you made me.
Obi just running. like
I appreciate
stared at her maze.
taking moves from Leia. I appreciate that they lit up the saber though, because it was really dark. So it's like let me get some light on his face.
And I like that the minute he heard the voice, it was like all that hesitation was just like right into instinct. Like it's there.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I was waiting for it. Yes.
Holy shit.
Oh, man. It's so good.
The years have made you weak.
I was going to say he's toying with him. Don't cut away. Stay.
I need like nonstop.
Go.
Could have had 45 minutes just from fighting.
Yep. It's exactly like Revenge of the Sith. Every time they'd break away from the two of them toward the end, I was like, stop it. Stay there.
Yeah.
We'll meet you there.
Or she is going to go back.
Bring him back.
That delivery was...
A little layer. Yeah. Anakin's doing this one-handed, like it's nothing. Or Vader.
He's trying to embarrass him.
You should have killed me when you had the chance.
You gotta think like how scared Obi-Wan is too, right? Like Anakin was supposed to be the one, and now he's become this abomination that he's been for a decade. Like he is genuinely scared, which I kind of did.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Man. Can't use that hideout anymore. Oh, dude. I was just about to say, I love.
You will suffer, Obi-Wan.
Oh my god.
Oh no no no!
Oh,
No!
Your pain has just begun.
Oh my god.
Bring him to me.
I like this Tala chick and her droid.
Yeah.
Dude, that was.
Oh my god.
Crow, man. I was just thinking though before, like I like that they put them in some place so dark so the sabers could really pop because you couldn't
Really pop.
you know, and then right as I'm about to say it, there's the flames. That was
The imagery of the flames against his suit and Obi-Wan in the flames struggling. I don't know if I'll be able to recover from that one. I don't know.
and like just the
And this is clearly not their only showdown. Yeah.
no, and like the anger that's just been there. Like 10 years I've been waiting to put you through what I went through.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Leia too. Like I need to know she's safe.
Don't be afraid.
How did she get in front of
Come
her?
closer.
Are you the one I'm supposed to meet?
Unfortunately, they couldn't make it, but I'll take you from here.
No.
Oh.
So this is gonna be the Leia Obi-Wan. Like
Yeah.
I think the whole season is gonna have her. Wow.
Which, like, it makes sense.
Oh
to
sure.
keep him off it. Everybody knew he had to get taken. He had to be kept off his Tatooine, and like I think we've talked about, like learning things that he can use with Luke. That was intense.
Yeah. That's one word.
I was not expecting that.
No, like I
I
think
was not expecting that.
like whatever they were gonna do for like Vader's debut, like you figured it would be big, and like all of it visually, just the momentum and like the build up to it happening, like like exactly what I was hoping for. I never thought we'd see though like what we got. Like it's one of those like you can go through different things in your head of like, all right, what's it gonna be like when they finally are face to face? And I don't think I saw like Anakin trying to put Obi-Wan through what Obi-Wan
fire. Yeah,
like, that's
somebody who had 10 years to think about how he would get revenge. Also, side note, because the credits came up, Freck, was that Zach Braff?
Is that who that was? I didn't.
Zach Braff.
See it.
Zach Braff was on the credits, and that's the only thing I could think of him portraying. They didn't say who he was, but they were doing like order of appearance, and I wonder if he was Freck.
I have to go back and look at that. That's hysterical because like
Yeah,
there's something about the voice where I was like, I don't know who it is, but there's
you
something
know it.
familiar with what that voice was.
Yeah.
It's hysterical.
I completely you completely forget everything that happened before he showed up, but like seeing him get put together was just incredible. All of the force choking, you see what he'll kill innocent. Like they're building up Vader to be exactly who everybody thought he was and how they wanted you to think he was, and just seeing it like literally cringe inducing how it is like jump scares and that back and forth, the battle between the two of them, and like all the stuff with Leia, like, are you my father? Did you know my father? And him talking about brotherhood to lead to this moment.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful.
Like,
it was just beautiful.
And like you said, like it's like just like the build up to it, right? Like I love how we've been getting these like shots of Obi, right? Where like he's very distraught, almost looks like he's going through like a PTSD episode like multiple times since he's learned that Anakin was alive.
Yeah.
And you utilize that a few times, or it's like you see it, now you've trained your audience to feel that way, so that when Vader shows up, his immediate instinct, like you think he's having an episode, and then it's like, oh no, he can feel Anakin. And like knowing immediately, like, get Leia out of here and make sure she goes where she's got to go, because if I can feel him, he can feel me. And like,
yeah,
I love playing with that, like right out the gate, like where it's, I can't let him know that he has a daughter, and then like I'm gonna, from Anakin's perspective, it's, oh, Obi-Wan's here and I know exactly where he is, but instead of just going right to him, I'm going to like make sure he understands what he made, like he turned me, what he turned him into. And like just like that head snap where it was like, I know you're right there, but I'm gonna break this person's neck, I'm gonna kill this person, and I'm going to
kill this
force
child.
you to
Yeah.
step out. And like,
and it's, I mean, showing in the first episode, like that's how they're gonna smoke it out. And like I was saying, like we were talking about, like a Jedi is going to show himself. They learned this from somewhere, right? They had teachers, and it's clearly Anakin and Vader are here. The Inquisitors are down here somewhere, but like you see the parallels on like how he's had an impact, and it was crazy.
The other thing that I'm loving, and it's like, was that hesitancy to go to the lightsaber, how long it took Obi-Wan to get there. Like you can tell that the last 10 years he is second guessed everything that he did leading up to Anakin going to the dark side, right? Where it's like he almost doesn't trust his own instincts, right? Like it's like the thing you expect Obi-Wan to do, he doesn't, because he hasn't done it for a decade. And then you can see that the instincts are in there, right? Because like the minute he heard Anakin's voice, that saber came right on and he was ready to go. But like it's not that the instincts aren't there. It's like he can't trust himself since he lost Anakin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can tell there's this just overwhelming fear of like, you got to get Leia off this planet, because if he gets his hands on Leia, that's another one that I just messed up. Like what Ewan is doing acting wise, like the from the expression nature and his physicality, it's like it just punches so hard. And like you're understanding this is a guy who is not who we last saw. He has said it so many times. Like I like that they just continually give you moments where the guy we know should pop up and he doesn't. I mean, to the point where like the last time we saw him use a lightsaber, he's fighting Anakin. We always joke around how like it's the greatest lightsaber sequence ever in Star Wars. They're going 90 miles an hour. The skills are unreal. And like Anakin literally is beating him down with one hand. You know what I mean? It's like, I know you're an old man and you haven't been doing anything for a decade. And I am going to I'm not gonna like take you out quick. I'm gonna embarrass you. I'm gonna drag it out. I'm gonna make you feel all the things that I feel like on a date. Like, speaking of physicality, like the way Hayden is just carrying himself in the suit.
Yeah.
You know, the minute you hear James Earl Jones's voice comes out, and it's so easy to just go, "Oh, this is a cakewalk for Hayden," right? Like, he doesn't have to worry about lines and all this stuff. And it's like, well, no, that's not true, because when you're acting on set, Hayden is the one that's saying all the lines and is doing all that performance that'll get filled in.
Yeah.
But the physicality of the performance, like, that's why you put Hayden Christensen in the suit. It's because of what he does and how he carries himself as Vader. Like,
and like the last we saw of him in Revenge of the Sith, when you first get the reveal, right? He comes up from the platform and like is very stiff when he's walking. It's like all these mechanical. You could tell he's not used to it. This is all brand new to him. And like for him to just be like walking around, these modifications are like they're him. They're who he's become. They're no different. It's no different. And like just seeing that, you see what that 10 years has done and like how he's grown into that. And like you even saw it, what modifications were like for him, and like the struggles he had with like an Attack of the Clones, like getting used to his mechanical hand, all of that. You don't see any of that anymore. Nothing. There's no separation between man and machine, which is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Yeah. And it's like, and it's that like, right, just the balance. This is why like I love Dave Filoni so much, because he understands what Lucas was always trying to do. But like the way that you balance that aspect out, right, where it's like Obi-Wan has been out of the game for 10 years and he is really rusty. He's really stiff. He doesn't trust himself. And on the flip side of that, you know, the yang to that is, well, Anakin was in a place where he had to relearn how to be the best, you know, force sensitive in the world, because he's mostly machine. And embracing that, you lose him. That's where the humanity loss comes, right? That's what allows Anakin to fully come to the dark side. That is only going to allow Luke to pull him back, right? Like, he is just where Obi-Wan is clearly so unsure of himself. Anakin as Vader over these last 10 years couldn't be more sure of himself.
Yeah.
And that aspect, that idea of like being more machine than man, like how that has hindered him in like, he doesn't seem to have any emotional care toward things except freaking Obi-Wan. Like the one thing that you can tell he has any kind of feeling about is this guy that he has been trying to find for 10 years. And like you said, you can just tell in the way that he responds to him and how he acts that he has been thinking about this moment for his 10 years at the top of the Empire.
Yeah. And to bring in the fire, to draw him out like that and to drag him through the flames. I mean, you just see the fear on Obi-Wan's face. And like you had said, the last time we saw him, Obi-Wan was kicking his ass. He had the high ground. That's the whole point of it. And now you see glimpses of Obi-Wan's face against his saber light getting bounced at it, and it's complete and utter terror, because he doesn't know if he's going to make it out of this. And still, his biggest thing is get Leia out, protect her. Now we're going to see next week what happens, because she falls into the hands of Reva, because she is a 10-year-old and she's super, super trusting. She doesn't know any better. And just like, it's an interesting dynamic also to see that like Vader, yes, is relying on the Inquisitors, but he's very solo. Like, it's him and Palpatine. They're the duo, but like he's one, and like he's like his own man kind of thing, right? His own entity. Obi-Wan is going to rely on a lot of others, and we're already seeing that. You're seeing, you know, Tala has to get him safe. Rely on like Bail. Lars lied for him, even though he also mainly for Luke. Like, this hermit that he's supposed to be is now gonna, I think, rely on other people, and I'm interested to see how that plays out and what that does to bringing him back into like the Jedi ways, because you're already seeing it when he's reading the inscriptions on the wall. Like, oh, I remember these people were here. There's still people out there fighting for a cause. I'm not alone. because I think he did feel very alone for 10 years. And
Sure.
so to also see that differential, right? Vader, who's very much alone. And even though people think he can get close to him, you never are close to him. And then you have Obi-Wan, who's like really going to be leaning on people, I'm sure, because he's half burnt at this point. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and it's one of those, like, you can tell how not trusting Obi-Wan is of anybody, right? Like,
Yeah.
if his brother could turn to the dark side, how can you trust any, like, the one, like the one that was supposed to bring the balance back and to fix everything?
Yeah.
And if he can turn, like, how can I trust anybody? And like seeing that with him to the point where like he gets to,
Yes.
Tala, I need you to take Leia. Like, how much of having to rely on other people also could wake up that guy, right? Because he knows he's the only one that might be able to save Leia. Because like you said, like we look at that last battle, two top Jedi in the galaxy at that point are those two guys. The only guy that can stand next to Anakin is his brother. So like, as much as like you need Obi to have to trust people and understand that this is bigger than just these one-off moments, he also kind of maybe needs to see trusting people isn't working to get him to get back into that gear. Although I don't know how you get into any gear when half your body has been burned to a crisp.
He needs to find a back to tank like ASAP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
All the Inquisitor stuff was second in this episode. I don't care about their drama right now when I see Vader on the screen. They're just like background noise.
It's like you kind of almost forget about the first half of the episode the minute that Vader like shows up and is doing things, right? It's like the build up to like going back and forth between him and Obi-Wan is like he's being put into the suit. Like, you forgot about that shit so quick once he finally stepped on. You were just like, again, like just the way that the terror and the fear encapsulate you around the Inquisitors with, you know, the score that Natalie Holt is bringing in. And then when Vader shows up, like I mentioned it during the watch, but I was watching Hayden and Ewan like on one of those like, you know, this like agree or disagree type games. And
I have to watch that. You sent that to me.
Yeah, like the question was, is, you know, Darth Vader the most terrifying villain of all time? And they all both obviously super strongly agree, but like Ewan was like, I've never in my career like actually felt fear while I was on set portraying it, right? Like usually I'm acting it. He's like, the first time I was on set and I turned and you see Hayden in that suit and he's 7 feet tall and he's massive. He's like, I legitimately just on the visual alone got actually real life scared, like felt fear. And like, even just watching it, just seeing him move around. And after you see what he does to all those innocent people, like everything is just like, it feels like this when he's there and you're not sure of anything because you know how powerful he is. You know, he's at the peak of that power. And this is that stretch of time where we've never seen Vader unopposed. No one that can really stand in his way. He can do whatever he wants. And like, it's impossible to think about anything else once that stuff gets entered into this on the screen. But I am a little bit more worried about this Grand Inquisitor stuff because like the guy that I figured probably saved him be like, that chair is mine, and like they're all going for that spot. I'm like, I don't like it. I still think like he probably isn't dead. And like is probably in a recovering in some way where like they think that the spot is open. But like I'm a little nervous now that like maybe this is some retcon stuff because they really down on the Grand Inquisitor is dead, which I'm hoping is just a misdirect. But like
there's so much more there's so many storylines that I think that they're gonna just start bringing in from Rebels and like the characters, like especially with the Ahsoka show, like can't take out a major power player from that show. Like I can't believe that that's really gonna happen. And I wonder if Vader's using them as pawns,
That's the other thing I was
to
thinking.
get what he wants. Like, Reva, you're gonna do whatever you want because I know what you want. I know what your end game is. But Vader doesn't care about her. Like we were just saying, like Vader doesn't care about anybody. Vader cares about getting Obi-Wan and cares about his own agenda. So he can give two shits about the Inquisitors, but he can use them as pawns.
Yeah.
He can sense what they want and he can manipulate them to doing things. So I wonder if that's how they're gonna play it. While he kind of like they just took him off the board to be able to have Vader manipulate her a little more. She doesn't think she's being manipulated, but like I'm sure that's exactly what's happening.
Like it's one of
Yeah,
those
I'm
things
still
where,
holding hope.
yeah, like where it's like you could feel like Reva clearly had some sort of conversation with Anakin before like the second episode had hit, right? Like you felt like there was she was getting direction from somewhere. And it's like what I'm hoping is like maybe he kind of told the Grand Inquisitor, like, hey, I'm gonna go send you to do this, and you might have to take a saber. We'll make sure you don't die, and I'm gonna put you over here for later, but I'm gonna use your absence to get them to go do what I need. Like,
yeah,
there's definitely a genius level in Vader where like you could see him utilizing it. Like, oh well, they think this guy's dead, even though like maybe they brought him back. They figure he's on his deathbed, he's on his way out. Vader knows that he'll be fine, and he can manipulate him into being exactly what he needs him to be later on.
Anakin's a strategist.
Yeah,
that's what he did in the Clone Wars. He was a general. He's a strategist.
Yeah.
So like
you can see how he's pitting them against themselves to get what he wants. Like, I've been looking for this dude for 10 years. Nothing is working. Like, I could totally see where Vader is, puppeteering all of this stuff, but like they really doubled down on it where I was like, all right, I'm gonna trust it because typically it ends up playing out well. Like, it was one of these, I was like, when I've been getting a bunch of my friends like into Clone Wars and like into all the Star Wars stuff. And like there are moments where like I've had a couple of them like ask me questions like, I don't know, man, like I'm not feeling this or that. I'm like, trust me, like you might not feel like it makes sense in season 1 or 2, but when you get to season 6, all of a sudden those things from 1 and 2 make a lot more sense. Like this just seems like another one of those long play type things where it's like, all right, I'm not sure what's happening, but I'm sure like 4 more episodes down the road or 2 seasons from now, I'm gonna go, oh, that's what they're doing. Like, you got to remember too, like Filoni is working both sides of the timeline right now, right? Like he's doing stuff post Jedi, he's doing stuff pre Hope. Like, you got to give the man time to get everything to where it needs to be. But it's definitely like I just know this week that's going to continue to be a talking point. Like, they killed the Grand Inquisitor. It's like, I know, but like I don't think.
I don't want to believe it until we're like on the 6th episode and it's like, here's a body. There's no body. He's not dead. You don't see his body.
You gotta
like,
almost have the like soap opera mentality around characters, right? Like, we saw them disappear, but we didn't see what happened to that. Like, they can always come back. Even
we saw
right? Killing Cad Bane. We don't know if he's alive or not, but like I think every Star Wars fan in their gut goes, why would Filoni bring one of his most beloved animated characters into live action just to off him real quick? Like, there's going to be more there.
We've seen Darth Maul get cut in half. We've seen Anakin get cut in half, and they're still around. Like, things have happened. Like, I'm gonna reserve the right to be like super, super anxious, but
absolutely,
that storyline is like so secondary to everything that happened. Like,
absolutely.
I care about like Vader, Obi-Wan and Leia, and then like the Inquisitors are just down here. Like, I don't even.
It's I mean, and it is one of those things where it's like we want that Reva backstory and we want to understand more of that relationship, and this episode only furthered that, right? Like, actually getting to see her talk to Vader, like, and confirm like, there's clearly some kind of relationship there that she's been keeping under wraps, and now that this Grand Inquisitor spot is open, now she's throwing it in people's faces like, oh yeah, I've talked to Vader. I love when Sung Kang's character came back, he's like, oh, Vader already knows, and he's very happy. I was like, oh, I love this little like in-house fighting. But that in-house fighting, like you said, is going to get results for Vader. But
Yeah.
yeah, I did like a little bit more of an expansion on that Reva character, where it's like, okay, there definitely is something between her and Anakin that we're gonna dive into, hopefully next episode or a couple episodes down the line. But
Yeah.
I'm with you. The only thing that matters right now to me is what is going on with, Leia, Obi, and Vader. Like those three, and those are the three kind of storyline plot lines that we're gonna dive into next episode. Like that's where I'm completely invested. Like, how does Obi-Wan bounce back from this? What is the next showdown between Vader look like? Is he gonna need a Rocky montage to knock the rust off?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I need like a Rocky Karate Kid like training montage now, like him training with the saber,
he's gonna
communicating with Qui-Gon.
Learn
yeah,
himself. And like this is one of those where it's like, was the Anakin just beating him down with one hand foreshadowing that Obi is going to have to now fight him at some point with one hand? And if I'm trying to, it's his right side, right? So it's gonna have to be his non-dominant hand too. So like, I feel like maybe there's gonna be maybe a little training montage somewhere where like Obi-Wan relearns how to use it. But there's definitely big lightsaber stuff coming, because that was one of the other things that they talked about in that like agree or disagree segment that I was watching. Like they were talking how like the old sabers, like they had so many lightsabers, and like it was so fun. Like Ewan was like, yeah, the lightsaber guy, and Anakin, like Hayden, no hesitation was like, oh yeah, his name was like Tom or something like that.
Yeah.
I love when you see actors pull things from that, from like movies, like, wait, like, yeah, they know all the crew too. Like that stuff's always so cool to me. But like they said, like it was made out of some sort of like alloy of some kind. So it was like after you were finished with a take, you literally were being given a new lightsaber because it was bent and warped, and they were like, the technology is so different now. Like the lightsabers we have, it almost feels like they're lighter, and they're more kind of like the stuff that you see like people actually getting their hands on, like when you're seeing lightsaber fights and stuff. And there's almost this like, yeah, they're cool, but like I kind of miss the old ones. But like you can definitely tell like they clearly have a lot of lightsaber play at some point. So like that's not the only one, man. Like you're not gonna have the fight in Revenge and then that be your only like, oh, like Obi-Wan is gonna get that redemptive moment where we're gonna see some sick stuff, I think. And I'm just I'm fascinated to see how we get there.
Yeah, it's gonna be, the next 3 episodes are gonna be very, very like fast. And I think it's gonna be like, I don't know how much time has passed, but something's gonna have to pass. Yeah, it's gonna have to be a montage or something for us to believe that like he can come back and like get some kind of redemption.
Yeah, well, like knowing that Reva has Leia.
Yeah.
The only person that's gonna be able to save her is Obi-Wan. So like some time is gonna have to pass in some way where it's like he's gonna have to heal up enough to be able to go take Vader on and get out of there, right? The question is does Reva bring Leia to Anakin? I don't know. I don't think that Anakin would necessarily sense her as like his daughter, but like what, I'm just interested to see what they do with Leia. Like now that Leia is in the Empire's hands, where does she go? Who does she get passed off to? Where is she being kept? And how do they use her to get Obi-Wan back again?
Yeah,
does Vader cross her path at all?
I was thinking that, and it's like, I would think he would, like just their interactions in A New Hope. I'm trying to figure out how, like, if there's anything telling or not telling that he had seen her as like a child, but also like, I didn't know if she was going to bring her back to Alderaan, because like she had already been given grief of like, you stole an Imperial senator's daughter.
Yeah,
because Bail is still part of the Senate. Like he still has good standing. They don't, necessarily think of him as a rebel at this point. Is she going to bring her back? Will she bring her to Anakin? Who knows? I don't know. I think they'd be playing with fire, no pun intended, if they were to bring Leia directly into his path.
Oh,
like I think they'd get backlash for that. But
yeah, I get that for sure. But like just listening to you just now, like, does that become a play where it's like, oh, here's how I can continue to keep the people in the Senate in my good graces while I'm doing all this bad shit, where it's like, oh, hey, Bale, I found your daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What a
Is
coincidence. Like, she was just
the
here.
play? Like,
Yeah.
I'm in, it is one of these things where like you start to open up these doors to time periods and things that we've never seen before. And you have a history that goes so much further in both directions. Like when you open those doors up, you kind of invite the possibility for trip ups, or like, you know, you get yourself in a logic hole or something like that. So like, yeah, it's everything that could potentially happen could be like but then how does that change how things are? And as much as I'm loving everything, it's also fascinating to see where they're going and what things they're hitting on. But for me, this episode, it did everything that I wanted it to do and more than I wanted it to do. The Vader Obi-Wan stuff is so good in this show.
I thought we were gonna get glimpses of Vader, just like getting ready, that anticipation, building it up. But we got build up and we got results, and that was mind blowing at 4 a.m.
It's a lot of fun to see how this show continues to like set things up and then like knock things off. Like it's one of those where even last week, like taking the Grand Inquisitor off the board, while it raises questions from a structure and just inside of this story, it's, hey, here's something that we were kind of building to. Here's your payoff already, because we only got 6 episodes to do all this stuff. And like, I like that we are getting rewarded, or we're getting some sort of like, yes, this is what I was hoping to get out of this episode. Every episode, we're getting something that we can kind of take with us and go, man, I was rewarded for being invested, where it's not like I got to stick it out for 5 episodes to get my rewards. Like, I like that we're getting some sort of give back every episode, but I'm just like, all right, now it's the Obi-Wan Darth Vader show. Like, give me all of everything that we were hoping for. Now it's like, it's happening. And like I was saying, even if Hayden is gonna be masked with James Earl Jones's voice, like just the physicality that he brings to the performance, you can just feel the familiarness of the character the minute he steps on screen. Like, it's like these characters, the way Obi-Wan, it felt like Ewan had never been away for 20 years. It feels like Hayden just, even though it's a completely different aspect of the character that he didn't really get to touch outside of the you know, like it feels like it hasn't been 20 years since he had that suit on. And like, I've been so excited for both of them since it was announced, and like now seeing what we're getting, like I'm just, it's so good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's exciting.
All right, last thoughts.
I have no thoughts. I'm just like blown away. I'm like speechless for what we got. I think the parallels they're drawing are amazing. They're setting Vader up to be the villain that we all wanted him to be and all knew him to be, but we're seeing it in real time. And I'm terrified for what's happening next week with Leia and Reva and poor Obi-Wan being half burnt. So episode 4 will be a good one.
That it will. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have said it any better. Like there's something at stake in every episode, and they don't waste any time in making you go, oh man, I'm super invested in wherever we're going for the next 45 minutes. So yeah, I'm loving what they're doing. I think that first episode is probably the strongest, right? Because it's doing story work. But this one certainly gave me the biggest pops and got me the most excited out of what we've gotten from the first half, to the point where it's like, if you can show me this in episode 3, what are we getting when we get to episodes 4, 5, and 6?
Yep.
Obi-Wan is off and running. It's red hot. And clearly the two of us are enjoying the hell out of it, even if there are things that as Star Wars fans, you're like, well, we'll see where that goes. The stuff that really matters is hitting hard. So that's everything that me and Britt got to say. I'm sure when we rewatch this, we'll have some new things to talk about next week, like we did this week. But for now, you've seen our reactions. You've seen our thoughts. Now it's your guys' turn. What was working in this episode? Was the Vader reveal the first time he's on screen, the first time him and Obi are in the same place? Did it do all the things that you were hoping it was going to do? I think it did for us. I mean, so freaking good. So anything that was working, man. I know there could be people who got the bad and indifferent, but like last week, I just want the good. Give me what you're loving about this show. Give me what you're looking forward to. What things are making you think about the larger story at play? Where are we going? Anything you got down below in the comments section. Look forward to talking to you guys down there. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me and Britt a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with us every week when we're talking Obi-Wan. You just like when I'm talking movies and TV or the general vibe of this thing. You just want to show a little love and support for the old C-Man because I'm a crazy old man myself. Then, hey, come join C-Maniac Nation. Super easy. You jump over there, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell so you get those alerts. You know when these videos are coming. And until our next Obi-Wan time, this has been my friend Britt. I've been the C-Man, and we are signing off. Peace. Oh, hey, what's going on? You must be sticking around because you're looking for more content featuring this guy. Well, guess what? You're in the right place. You can check out more videos right here and right here. And if you have and you want to come join that C-Maniac Nation, you can hit that subscribe right over there.